Good evening, world. Welcome to the Expect to Win Experience Talk Show, the only talk show in the world for student athletes where we give them an opportunity to talk about themselves and we bring in the pros and bring in coaches that give valuable words of wisdom and advice. I am Coach Thomas. I am your host, and I'm glad to be here tonight. Glad to be here. In a little while, we'll be bringing in our recruitment specialist, Coach Kelly. We have two very exciting and interesting guests tonight. And I want to just announce and say also that if you are a student athlete and you are interested in having an opportunity to uh, showcase and talk about yourself and be a guest on the Expect to Win experience, you can reach out to us via our Twitter page. I had a brain freeze for a minute. Our Twitter page and Expect to Win show at Twitter, and just send us information about who you are and what sport you play, what school. We're all about student athletes here and promoting the message of Expect to Win. And a lot of people ask, what is Expect to Win about? What is Expect to Win? Well, Expect to Win. The Expect to Win is an athletic apparel company, uh, which I am the owner. And but the message behind Expect to Win is that if you leave it all on the basketball court, you leave it all on the football field, you leave it all on the baseball diamond, you leave it all in the classroom, if you give it your all, you can expect to win. And essentially, you are a winner because no one can ask more of you than you can ask of yourself. And when you give it your all and you leave it all on the field, you expect to win. So I encourage every student athlete, it does not matter where you are in the world, where you're watching, um, parents, you have a student athlete you'd like to have as a guest on the show, reach out to us at the Expect to Win show on Twitter, and we will definitely contact you and set you up to be a guest on the show. I also want to remind you, please, please, please like, subscribe, and share on Expect to Win TV. We gonna really we got some exciting things coming up in 2022, including a new co-host and just had a lot of things that are going to be taking place. And I'm also going to be we're going to be adding a sports report. So if you are a student, college student or high school student, you're interested in interning and being a sports reporter here on the Expect to Win experience, reach out to me. The Expect to Win experience show, the Expect to Win show experience show. I'll get it right on Twitter, and we'll be glad to talk to you about being a sports reporter here on the show. So tonight we're going to get started. We have, as I said, two exciting guests, and we're going to bring on the first guest, and he is a basketball. I'm gonna call him a superstar. I don't know if he liked that or not, but we're gonna call him a basketball superstar. I like the brother's vibe and his spirit. So right now we're gonna bring on Coach Chivas Miller. How you doing, sir? Okay, you're on mute. You're muted.
Oh,
Did I
my
mute?
bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
There
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go.
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. My bad. My bad. But no, I'm doing well, Coach. I'm doing well. How
Good,
about
good,
yourself?
good. I'm doing good, doing good. So, Coach,
Good.
where are you tonight?
So I am actually in Oklahoma City. I have a friend. Me and my wife have a friend who her sister has moved from Arizona to Oklahoma City. So we're actually coming to welcome her to the state of Oklahoma, trying to help her get comfortable. So that is where I'm at. I'm at my one of my good friend's sister's house right now.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, thank you for taking time out and being with us. So, well, what's interesting in Oklahoma?
It's actually a lot of interesting things here, man. What most people don't know is there's actually black people here. Most people don't know that, and we don't just ride horses, and it's not just all country. We do actually have buildings here, and we're not just
Okay.
cowboys. So,
Well, that's cool, Coach. Tell us a little bit. Tell us about your basketball coach, correct?
yes, sir. So I am. I have two companies I run. Next Level Up, which I have had since 2014, which where we basically help kids dream, envision, and do whatever goal it is they're trying to get to, and we use the
Okay.
resource of basketball in order to do that. So we help kids get in college, and then I also have, as you can see on the screen, got Discover Training, where
Okay.
where with that we help people discover, dedicate, and dominate the game, both mentally and physically.
Awesome. Oh, so you said it's next level up.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. Is it a certain age group you work with, or
So, so with Next Level Up, we focus on first grade through high school, and then with Discover Training, we focus on 3 year old all the way up to professional basketball players.
wow, wow. So what age group do you prefer to work with? Three. You working with three
To
year
be honest
old?
with you, coach, to yeah, to be honest with you, I think I like them all, man. I mean, a lot of coaches they have a certain age group that they like to deal with, but I like them all, from the 3 year old to just getting them to learn how to pass and dribble, to all the way up to the pro, getting him or her to be able to take that next step and come back better the next year than they were the year before. So I kind of like them all. All of them have their pros and cons. You know, you have the 3 year old that you have to be a little bit more patient. You can only do 30 minutes at a time versus an hour. You know, and then you
Right.
got the pro that sometimes to be honest with you, you got to treat them like a 3 year old because they don't listen. So they're actually more, they have more in common than what you think or even know.
Okay. Okay. So when you say work with them, what exactly does that consist of?
So it depends. So how we do it is we bring, when we're talking about the Discover training side, we bring the kid in and we evaluate them. We have both a mental evaluation and we have a physical evaluation that we take them through. And so after we take them through the mental and physical evaluation, we sit down with the parents and the player and tell them what we think about them, and then we come up with an individualized plan specifically for them to get started and working out.
That's awesome, man. That is an awesome program. How do you let's get into a little bit about your background. Of course, you played college ball, and where did you play, and and
Okay.
and how was that experience?
Yes. Yes, sir. So I played college ball at Bacon College, which is in Muskogee, Oklahoma. I played there from 2003 to 2008. And then I had a brief stint playing professionally before I got in the basketball training. And so my experience, man, was one that it was a grind. I mean, I was one of the best kids in the area coming out of high school. It was like I had to start off as the low man on the totem pole and work my way back up. And so, although Bacon College was an NAIA school, people don't realize that. I think the my biggest pet peeve in being a basketball trainer and me playing at the NAIA level is that people try to put the different levels as in somebody who went Division 1 is automatically better than somebody who went NAIA, and that's not always necessarily the case. Some kids have to go NAIA simply because they didn't have as much exposure, like myself. Some kids end up Division 1 because their dad was a Division 1 coach. So I feel like if you're a college basketball player at any level, whether it's from Division 1 all the way down to NCCAA, you are a stud.
Wow. Okay. Well, now that's interesting because all you hear is student athletes. Everybody want to go D1, D1, D1. Now you said you had a brief stint even playing professionally, and you're in Oklahoma.
Correct.
A lot of people feel like you have to be in Los Angeles or
Correct.
New
Hmm.
York or somewhere like that. What do you think it was about you that got the attention of the college scout as well as the pro scout?
I think for me is it's not necessarily about where you're at, but it's about where you go. And so you can be in Oklahoma or in Arkansas and still have opportunity to play professional, but it's about one. I think it's three things that every student athlete has to realize, right? The first thing is they have to have the ability to build relationships, right?
Okay.
So if
Right.
you're good at building relationships, and this doesn't start when you're about to go, when you realize you want to go play professional basketball, right? This starts in high school. How you treat the janitor, how you treat how you treat how you even when you get to high school, how you're even remembered by the middle school staff, right? Because
Mhm.
one reason why I was able to play professional basketball was the janitor of my high school actually knew the professional coach and was the one that got me an opportunity.
Wow.
So now imagine if I didn't treat him in a respectful manner when I would the janitor, we would play after the building was closed and he was done with his job. We would be in the gym 10, 11 o'clock at night playing one on one. He was a
Wow.
former Division I basketball player, probably about 6'4", 6'5". I'm only 5'10". And so we would go at it, and sometimes he would win, sometimes I would win, and we would sit down and talk. And so we constantly had them long conversations. And so based off of me being a good relationship builder, I was able to get an opportunity to play professional basketball. That's the first
That is
thing. The second thing that I the second thing that I feel like student athletes have to be a good honest person. So if people see you, if people understand you as a honest person, a man, a woman of integrity, a man or woman of high character, then they're a whole lot more likely to help you than somebody if they're like, oh man, he always lying, he always cheating on something.
right.
And last thing, Coach Thomas, last thing, here's the thing is when people when people say your name, the first two words they have to associate with is hard work. If they don't see you as a hard worker and they don't feel like you have the right work ethic, nobody's going to be willing to help you.
Wow. Man, you that and that's what my next question was going to be about work ethic. And so many coaches, I think every coach that we've had on the show has talked about work ethic and working hard, and for the high schoolers, making sure you have the grades to get into the college, because so many kids, they talk about, I got an offer, I got an offer, I got an offer, but that offer really don't mean anything if you can't get into the school.
Exactly, exactly. Oh, and Coach Thomas, I'll give the kids a small nugget too, right? So here's the thing: if you don't feel like you're good enough to play at a particular level, but if your grades are really good, you can sell yourself. You can sell yourself as a person that helps the team academic wise. Uh-oh.
No, I did that
Y'all look.
intentionally. I did that intentionally because I wanted them to hear you. I wanted,
Oh, okay.
I wanted that
Okay.
message to go out loud and clear. I wanted it to go out loud
Yeah.
and clear because our young people need to know that the academic
Yeah.
part, we had on our very first show, we had a former NFL player, Solomon Wilcott, And he made a very good point. He said that what you learn academically, what you get academically, nobody can take that away from you. And even when your body cannot do what it used to be able to do physically, what you have academically is still there.
That's
It's
true.
still there.
That's true.
So that's an awesome word of wisdom and advice, Coach. So right now, Coach, as we're going to wrap up this segment, what would
Okay.
you say to a young person that's watching now and maybe even want to work with you in the future, or they're trying to get to college, they're trying to get to the pros? I mean, you pretty much said a mouthful already, but that kid that maybe it's a kid that they're on the fence and they're
Hmm.
thinking about giving up or whatever, what would you say to that kid?
So I would say so. I'm a Christian. I'm somebody who loves God, and there's a Bible verse that says, "Write down the vision and make it plain." And so, what that means to me is, and I told one of my guys high school guys I was training a long time ago, right? Whenever I've been in church and I've heard people talk about that scripture, they talk about the vision and making it plain, but they always skip over the right part, right? And so
Hmm.
the first thing that you have to do if you have a goal is you have to write it down.
Yes,
Before a goal even becomes a vision, you have to write it. And it doesn't become
yes,
a vision until you wrote it down. So the first thing I would say is write down what it is that you want. Because the first thing that I did whenever I decided I wanted to play professional basketball is I wrote it down. And I put it somewhere in my room, even when I was in middle school, to where every morning when I woke up, it was the first thing I see. I even put it on a different color piece of paper, so therefore, even in the dark, even if I can't read it, right, I still know what I'm looking at. And
right.
so my thing would be simply just write it down. Even right now, I have a vision board that when I sit up in the morning, the first thing I see is my vision board, and so it gives me my why. So if you want to play college basketball, if you want to play professional, why? Why do you want to do it? Because if you don't know your why, whenever times get hard, you're gonna give up.
Yes,
So
yes,
make sure that you know your why. And if your why is simply because I want to be a millionaire, money is not gonna make it last. It
yeah.
has to be something other than the money to make it last.
Wow, wow. Well, we got you got a comment, Coach. Someone wrote and said, "Thank you for giving our athletes such important information." That was
You are welcome. You are
man. That
welcome.
that was some awesome words of wisdom, Coach, and we thank you for being on the show. And definitely like to have you come back at some other time in the future,
Oh
and
yes, sir. Most definitely.
give us an update on what you have going on. And so I love that next level that you're doing. That is, and we're gonna have to talk to see how Expect to Win can be involved with that.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. I love to work with you in the bigger capacity, coach.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, superstar, coach, Chivas Miller from Oklahoma. Man, we are worldwide. We're global. We go everywhere. Coach, thank you for being here with us tonight. And everything
Most
you do,
definitely.
always expect to win.
Yes, sir. I definitely will, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we have some of the most interesting guests on our show every episode. I mean, I'm blown away by the guests that we have. So we're going to take this commercial break, and we will be right back in 60 seconds with our student athlete of the week, Mr. Gavin Massey. Be you. You know, I've had people ask me, where did you where did you come up for with the BU concept? And really, the way we came up with the BU, because we own the trademark, federal trademark on Expect to Win, and the words and the logo. And, I was listening to, I think it was Stephen A. Smith and somebody else was talking about, Michael Jordan being the greatest of all time. And they was, saying LeBron can never be Jordan and all of that. And the light bulb came on. And for me, and I just said, why does LeBron have to be like Michael Jordan? Or why does any of us have to be like anybody else? God created you as an individual, and there's not a copy of you. So you might as well be you. Be the absolute best you that you can be. And so that's where the BU came from. So, but ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna bring on our student athlete. He's a football star, football player. We're gonna give him a chance to introduce himself, and he is I was a 6'3", 255-pound sophomore. And so, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Mr. Gavin Massey.
Hi.
What's going on, sir?
Nothing much. I'm talking to you.
Okay. Well, that I'm pretty sure you could probably think of some more exciting things you like to be doing tonight, and I'm not going to tell the people about the three beautiful ladies that were waving at you before before we came on the show tonight. So, how you doing, Gavin?
I'm doing good.
Good, good. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you go to school, and what your sport, and give us a little background information on who you are.
Well, I go to Sweeney High School, and it's like south of Houston. And football. It's always been football. I play D tackle and D nose, and sometimes D end.
Okay. Well, for those that don't know what D tackle, D N, what exactly are those positions?
D tackle is on the defensive line. It's in the middle. I line up in the middle of it, and then do whatever I need to do. And then defensive end is on the outsides of the defensive line.
So, as a defensive tackle, you like hitting people.
Yes, sir. Love it.
Okay, your job is to stop the running back, and okay.
Yes, sir.
What is it about football that you enjoy or you love?
Just like the hitting part, the hitting, the tackling, like working together to complete this goal, the victory.
Okay, okay. Well, what would you say? What is a moment that you had in your football career? First of all, how long have you been playing?
4 years now.
4 years. Oh, okay. Have you had a moment that it was just like a wow moment for you? Maybe you stopped the running back on from scoring on the last play of the game. Have you had what is your wow moment since you've been playing?
It was actually this year. We were playing a team from Hempstead, I think, and it was fourth and goal, and the guy decided to run straight up the middle right to me, and I put my shoulder into his chest and just took him out.
All right. Oh, did you guys win the game?
Yes, sir.
All right, all right. How has your season been with COVID and all of that? How has it been for you?
It's been pretty good.
You guys had a regular season?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, okay. When are you still playing, or is the season over?
No, sir. We lost in round one.
Oh, okay, okay. Who did you lose to?
Hemsar Finette.
Okay, that's another. Are they in Texas as
Y-
well?
yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Who's your favorite football player?
Uh, it's
Favorite
probably
team?
it's Gronk.
Grok. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Uh, you have aspirations to play college ball and any colleges in mind?
Yes, sir. I've been wanting to go to Baylor my whole life.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So if there's a recruiter out there from Baylor right now, even though because you're a sophomore, right?
Yes, sir.
But you had an opportunity to talk to the recruiter from Baylor, and he's watching you right now. What would you say to him?
I would say that I will have a very good work ethic and I will do whatever you tell me to do.
Okay. All right. Did you hear Coach Miller talk about writing down your goals and writing down your vision and all of that?
Yes, sir.
Did you? Okay. If have you done that, or if not, that's some very good advice.
I plan on doing it.
Yeah. If I was you, I would put a big old poster board that says Baylor in my.
I have a lot of flags and like monuments from Baylor
Really?
in my room.
Why Baylor? What makes you want to go to Baylor?
Um, so my brother planned on going there for college, but he went to Tarleton instead. So I kind of like got into Baylor a little bit. And then last summer, I went to a Baylor camp and I just fell in love with the whole thing.
Really? Wow. Okay. So you have a brother that plays football as well. Any other siblings that are involved in sports?
No, sir.
Oh, how about your parents? Are they athletes?
No, sir.
No. Oh, okay. Wow. So, okay, you are, how old are you?
I'm 16,
16, and you are 6'3", 255 pounds,
270 right now.
270. Wow. I would stay out of your way. But, 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 okay, so where did you get your size from? Your
Uh,
mom or
we
your
have
dad?
no clue. Neither of them.
Really?
Yeah. Well, we think we got it from my mom's side because my great grandpa is very tall. But
Wow. What has been the biggest thrill for you in your football career?
making varsity as a freshman,
Okay, wow. Okay, why was that important to you?
it just showed me what I could do. It told me I could hang out with the big people, the older people.
Okay, all right, all right, man. Gavin, you are very. You, I mean, you've thought this thing out, and that's very impressive. Not all young people are like that. When do you so Baylor, if God forbid it doesn't things don't go the way you expect with football, what would you like to do if you're not playing football or even after your football career is over?
I was thinking about being a chiropractor or being somewhere in the medical field.
Oh, okay. Wow, that would be awesome if you were to get your degree and become a doctor and then get drafted into the NFL.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
That would be so cool. So right now, okay, Gavin, and I'm just honored and thrilled to have you here. What would you say to a young person that looks up to you, is looking up to you, and say, hey, I like him. I want to be like him. What would you tell that young person that's in high school or coming into high school that they need to do in order to just even have a chance of even like you said, you made varsity as a freshman. That's a major accomplishment. What would you say to a young person looking up to you?
Never stop working and be in the weight room 24/7.
Wow. Okay.
Also, don't slack off on grades. Those are the most important thing.
Right. Okay. What's your favorite subject?
Either math probably or
Math.
English.
What subject do you struggle with?
I struggle with biology.
Okay. Okay. Well, to be to get that doctor, to be a doctor, I don't know if you need biology to be a chiropractor, but it definitely couldn't hurt.
Yes, sir.
So, so if Baylor is your number one option, suppose Baylor you didn't get to Baylor, do you have another school that you feel just as passionate about?
Um, I really like Rice and LSU.
Okay, all right. So you definitely want to leave home.
Yes, sir.
You want to okay. All right. Well, Gavin, man, thank you for being on the show. Why don't you give out your contact information, your social media information? Anybody want to reach out to you? Give out your social media information for your new fans that you're making tonight.
My Twitter is Gavin Massey 23.
Gavin Massey 23 is Twitter.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You having Facebook or Instagram or
No, sir.
okay. All right. All right. Well, Gavin, man, thank you for being on the show tonight. Um, we wish you all the best, and I look forward to you making it. And to as far as your ability and your talents will take you, and if you go to the NFL, don't forget about Coach Thomas.
Yes, sir. I won't.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, the pride of Sweeney, Texas. Mr. Gavin Massey. All right, man. This is it's going pretty swiftly, but I'm enjoying it. Oh my, wow. This is just very good. So we're gonna take another commercial break, and then we're gonna bring on the star of the show, Coach Kelly, the man who make everything tick around here. Because if he didn't stay on me, anyway, we won't go there. But we're gonna have another commercial break, and we'll be right back with the Expect to Win experience. And while we're taking this commercial break, why don't you go ahead and like and subscribe and be a part of the Expect to Win movement by liking and subscribing to Expect to Win TV. I love that commercial, that you fight like a girl commercial, because it features our very first guest, Mr. Bo Thomas, who was a football player, and believe it or not, that's his mother. So that's his mom that he's training. But right now, we're gonna bring on with our recruitment expert, Coach Kelly, and he's gonna give you some very important and I'm pretty sure informative information. Does that work? Is that right? Informative information? Well, either way. Coach, man, thank you. As always, I'm thanking you in advance because I know you have something good for us tonight.
Absolutely. And as always, we had one of the coaches touch on what I was going to speak about. So it works out.
It works out. So, ladies and gentlemen, our recruitment expert, Coach Kelly.
All right. Good to be back. I wanted to, talk about what the tip is for this week. And as Coach Miller was talking about, he started. He was talking about starting early. Starting early is one of the tips that I wanted to talk about. Because a lot of times, as he said, you don't want to wait until the opportunity is there before you get ready. One of the things I always say is if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So that means if I want to consider to be recruited, then I need to begin to get things together. Probably eighth and ninth grade year. Of course, your ninth grade year establishes the beginning of your high school transcript. Your high school transcript stays with you for your entire life, including job interviews and stuff like that. But more importantly, if you are a prospect or are building into being a prospect, that your grades are supremely important. Also, at that same time, you want to be able to fill out some of your clearinghouse things that will keep you in line with the things that you want to do, whether it's NAIA level, whether it's NCAA level. There are classes that you have to take in order to be able to play in those levels. And it also is a reminder that you don't wait until your senior year before you decide to start to get good grades, because if you've waited and slacked by then it's sometimes it's a little bit too late. I see a lot of kids a lot of times will even lose scholarship positions or scholarship money in the thousands of dollars because of a few decimal points worth of what their grade point average. Have even seen where a kid improved his grade point average zero point 0.2 points and went from a half scholarship to a full scholarship. So it does make a large difference. And with the starting early, of course, everybody, if you have dreams, it doesn't stop with just your paperwork that you start with. It also, with your grades, it also has to do with investing in yourself and training properly, and including eating properly. You have to be able to treat your body right, because your body is what's going to get you the scholarship and to perform well. So you need to begin to train correctly and building your skill set. Being a basketball coach myself, some of the stuff that I see does not translate over into a real game. Some of the things that they teach you, everybody has their own techniques, but personally myself, I always will tell you to work on skills that are going to translate directly from your training directly into what you're doing on the field, whether it's baseball field, football field, and basketball field. So make sure that you're investing in yourself as an athlete, and when you start early, by the time your recruiting process starts, most of the times that's around your junior year. You have a lot of things that are in place, and then you begin the paperwork to apply for colleges and things like that, and also your ACT scores and stuff like that. So start early so that you don't have to, play catch up when it's time to try to actually get the scholarship. And that's the tip for the week.
All right, Coach Kelly, I have a question. What about that athlete that say maybe they they goofed off the first their ninth and 10th grade year, and then they finally some kids develop later than others, and they decided in the 11th grade, oh shoot, I got to get this together, or what would you say to a young person like that? That I mean, they just caught on late, but they have the ability, but they didn't take their education as serious as they should have. What would you say to that young person about, is it too late? What would you say to them?
There's a lot of times when it is too late. I've seen it happen quite a bit. And your potential could be, let's say that your potential is Division II, and you end up in the junior college level or an NAI level because of it. Because so there's thousands of players out there, and you're competing against each one of those. And when you're not taking care of your business, somebody else is. They're taking care of their business. And when you're not working out, somebody else is working out, and they're diligent about what they're doing. And if you just so happen to come up against that player and compete for a scholarship, if they have a higher grade point average, and it just so happened to be that year that you fluffed off, then sometimes it bites you. I mean, there's no other way to put it. That every day that you wake up, the choices that you are making can affect you down the road, whether you realize it or not. And that doesn't mean that you won't be able to make it to the next level. That means there's sometimes a player that will be Division II level will go to a JUCO, and get their grades and show that they can still perform and end up back at the D2 level. So that's not to say that you're going to, completely lost. That just says that your route is a bit different now
Mm-hmm.
because of that. And you can make up for it. It is hard to do because so much of your business card as an athlete begins with grades. And, just like Coach Miller was also talking about, what is your attitude like? How is when people talk about your name, what are they associating your name with? How do you build relationships? How do you speak to coaches? Are you do you speak in slang or do you say yes or no, sir? I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but Mr. Massey was yes sir, no sir, and everything, and he's a sophomore and already has that character built. You can see that it comes through in an interview, which is why we do that on here. You can see the character of the kid just by how they interact and engage with you specifically with questions. Are they well thought out? Are they do they stumble over words? Are they intellectual? Because just like Solomon Wilcox said, the academic part or the mental acuity is going to translate and can overcome either loss of athleticism as you get older or lack of athleticism. I've played against a lot of people that are super athletic but they weren't very smart and can't run a play. And then I've also played with players and coach players where they're very smart and just can make things happen because when you know the games that you're playing, you can actually make and create things happen because of how smart you are. So that's a big part of it.
Coach, uh, my brother and I were actually talking about this. One of the guess attributes of building a successful team is camaraderie. And my brother is really big on. He says that especially like even with my boys, my grandsons Jaden and Bo, he's saying that even though you're on the team, you have to realize when it comes to trying to get a scholarship, you don't have any friends. What do you think of what is your thinking along that line? Because you want to have camaraderie with your teammates, but this other kid is trying to get a scholarship just like you trying to get one. So how do you handle that balancing act of friendship and competition for a scholarship?
Being a coach, I encourage it even in my practices where I tell my players, when we're in practice, we're here to make each other better. And don't take it personal, but you got to compete because I'm playing the best players that are going to help us win.
Wow,
My
yeah,
job is to put us in the best situation to win. Your job is to execute what I'm telling you. So even me as a coach is working with the team in order so that we can beat the other team. And in practice, that's what we're doing. We are trying to make each other better. I want my really athletic kids that aren't ready to play yet to push my starters. I don't play the top five versus the second five or the rest of the team. I split my players up to where my best players are playing the exact opposite of them. I have my two best point guards playing each other, my two best shooting guards playing each other, my two best posts playing each other, so that we can make each other better. And then also, it causes some of the younger kids to have to step up and play a different role in practice, whereas they would just be sitting on the side and not developing. I need everybody to develop. I need everybody to be pushing each other.
yeah,
And when you're doing that, everybody is going to benefit from that. And what we have to understand and be mature about it and say, look, we're competing against each other, but there's nothing, in practice. I'm trying to simulate what the other team's going to do, and I'm not going to take it personal when we walk off the floor. And it goes further than that, even outside of practice, where you want to help each other get grades, and it's a bit different in different sports. You know, certain players can be competing for the same scholarship. It still comes down to all the things we talked about. Sometimes it's what coaches are going to like in you versus another player. Sometimes it's just an attitude. Sometimes it's just small things here and there. And you never really can put a finger on it because each program is different and what they want to bring into their particular program and what skill set they have that you can fit or what spot that you're trying to take or replace. So I mean, yes, you want to compete, but just don't make it personal, especially with your teammates, because you win together and you lose together, regardless of the competition that you have.
right, right. Now this is going to be the final question. I really wish I had asked Coach Miller this question also, Coach. because this is something I absolutely hate, especially in football. Uh, Daddy and mama ball, where and I'm sure where the parents are riding the coach, why my kid is not getting more playing time, and the coach bows to the parent. How do you, as a coach, how do you handle that, or is that a Los Angeles thing, or do you have to deal with that in Oklahoma?
I know a lot of coaches that do deal with it. I do know coaches that are able to get away with it, and then other coaches that suffer from it. Me in particularly, I really don't have to deal with that because I deal with kids that are from out of state, and we live in a dorm situation. I do have parents that I deal with, but for the most part, it's not. I don't have to deal with it. So, however, when you're addressing those situations, you got to look at. I'll just say this: coaches that get results, nobody argues with their decisions. So if you're making decisions and you're playing mama and daddy ball and you're winning, ain't nobody gonna say anything to you. But if you're making those decisions and there's better kids that are on the bench or that are on the sidelines that aren't playing, and when you put them in the game and they make a difference and you're still losing by putting the other kid back in, that's whenever your integrity gets called into question because there's enough people that know the game that they can see what's going on. So I really just say that it's a personal coaching decision, and you're rolling the dice every day. And I think we all do as coaches. We kind of roll the dice as to the decisions we make and the directions we take for our team. So I mean, some people can deal with it, and some people can't.
Well, one thing, I mean, be it mama ball, daddy ball, like you said, winning kind of solves everything. Nobody says anything as long as you're winning.
Exactly.
But if you're losing, then that's when it becomes a problem. But I've seen that, and I never think it's fair to the team or the kid. And I'm that coach. I'm the type. I said win or lose. You know, you put the best players on the field that come out and work hard and compete and earn that position. Not on the field because your daddy is on the sideline. you know, that's what I don't like. I don't like that type of But
Well, I'll be honest with you. I really think that there's a loss of that old school sentiment, which is why I think the transfer portals are so loaded in every sport. It's in AAU culture also because if my kid doesn't get the playing time that I want, I'm gonna make my own team. And it doesn't teach your kid how to be grounded and grow roots and to grow into what the coach wants you. And I'm not saying every situation is going to be perfect. I'm not saying that some coaches don't mistreat kids or whatever the case may be. I am saying that if you're unsatisfied, work a little bit harder and see if that makes a difference. Because I'm a big believer in if you get results, a coach is going to play you. I really do. And, you know, instead of going somewhere else and trying to find a better situation, I really deal with kids every year that I call habitual transfers, that I've been doing this full time for about 3.5 years. And I've got some kids that have transferred 3 times. And it's kind of like, what are you doing? Like, you're not going to find a perfect situation at some point. You know, everybody can't be a star. You got to find a role and fit what a program wants you to be and be a star in the role they want you to be instead of just being a star. Everybody can't be the main guy. You know, it's just not built that way. You know, and that's part of being a team. How are you going to contribute to a program so that you can win?
and I think that's an excellent advice, coach, because and I think we see that even manifest on the pro level. you know, and that's because these pros are nothing but they're pros, but they were young people that were in that situation, like you said, and they may have been someone that if I'm not the main dude, then I'll go somewhere else, you know, and when they get into pro, they feel like they can do the same thing. I think in the NFL, that type of attitude is least tolerated, but at the same time, it's the culture that's being developed at the younger ages, and it just carries on over into the pro level and even into society. So awesome, awesome job as always, Coach. And I have a comment that I really hope students are paying attention to all of this. Well, this is what we're here for. This is what we do to try to enlighten the young people. And you know, we have a young man that's excelling over at Arkansas, the University of Arkansas, Cole Carson. You know, I'm so proud of that young man and other young people that have appeared on this show that they've taken what they learned here, they've taken it to heart. So Whitney Williams, she's a track star. She Cherish Williams. So we hopefully we're making a difference, and we're gonna keep trying until until we have a million kids on the show. We reached a million kids. So all right, Coach, awesome job as always. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been a part of the Expect to Win experience, and I am Coach Thomas. And I said we have so many changes coming. After the holidays, we'll have a new look and a lot of interesting things. A new co-host, and we're gonna just and a lot of changes. And like I said, I'm looking for a student intern that would love to be a sports reporter. So reach out to me if that is you. With that being said, I just want to say for whatever you do and all you do, give it your all. Make sure you are on empty. And when you do that, you can always expect to win. I am Coach Thomas for Coach Kelly, Coach Chivas Miller, and our student athlete. Oh God, I gotta look at my notes, y'all. I'm not Coach. Don't bring Coach Kelly back.
Yes,
Gavin,
sir. Gavin
Gavin,
Massey.
Gavin Massey, Gavin Massey. So for Gavin Massey and myself, Coach Kelly, thank you for watching. We broadcast where you can watch the shows anytime on Expect to Win TV on YouTube, but we are here coming to you live from Los Angeles, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, all around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do and all that you do, always expect to win. God bless you. Have a good night.